This podcast is entitled, We're the Best, Says Who? You ever heard anybody or anyone say, we're the best company? Or they say, our staff does only quality work? Or have you said that yourself? If you're a contractor and someone undercut you on your price, you said, what? They can't do it for that, right? They can't do it for that. But if you got the job, it was based on if you got the job on a low proposal, of course, it was because you're an astute business person, right? You figured out how to do it. The other guy's job was, he's undercutting. But when you get it, it's because you're an astute business person. So let's talk about a little bit about what is the definition. Let's talk about definitions today. So what is the definition of best? You know, what is the definition in our industry? What's the definition of clean? What's your definition of clean? What's your definition of good? High? Better? Best? So here we are, we're the best. What does that mean? And says who? Let me suggest to you, and I'm a believer in this, that quality work that we do is what the customer or the department head says it is. It has nothing to do with us. It's what the customer or the department head says it is. As a contractor, let me ask you, have you ever lost an account when you thought the quality was great, or at least it was good, whatever your definition of great or good is? I can remember years ago I had a lady who was cleaning a building, was supervising a building, just a staff of 3 doing a high, 11-story building, but it was very few square footage, like 5,000 square feet on each building, and she was supervising a crew to get it done. And I went in there and I walked into the building and I was appalled at the poor level of quality that we were performing. But as I walked through the building and I talked to the tenants, they just couldn't say enough good things about my supervisor and the crew that she had in that building. And I'm saying to myself, what in the world's going on? This is the dirtiest building we have. And yet the customer was absolutely happy. They said, you're the best guys in town. That was their definition of best was, you know, what Telia and her crew were doing. My definition was completely different. But you see, theirs was the only one that made a difference. That's all. If they were happy, I'm happy. It was really tough for me to swallow because I didn't feel like the quality was what it should be in that building, but the customer was happy. Now, there's a little more to that story, I guess. I should point out to you that this young lady, every Christmas, would bake a ham, cook a turkey, take Christmas cookies, and she'd take them around to all the tenants. Take them around to all the tenants in the building, and they just loved her. And you know, they'd be waiting on her at Christmas time to bring her Christmas cookies and to bring her ham and bring her turkey, and that's how, you know, that's how that made the quality great. That made the quality best, really super in their mind. Well, my worry on cleaning like that was if she ever left, a new manager comes in and immediately says, this building is terrible. You know, and it was. Well, she hung around for a lot of years, and actually the building burned. But anyway, she was doing the work that the customer wanted in their eyes. But like I said, there was a little more to that story. You see, it's our responsibility as managers and leaders to talk to the various recipients of our service. And she did it very well. She did it with cookies and things, but they understand what their needs are. They understand what it is they want, you see, and they have their definition of quality. They know what they want and what they need in their department, and they have that definition. You see, theirs is the only one that counts. Ours doesn't count. You see, one of the concepts I have found very effective in making sure that I stay in tune and stay in line with what my customers want is to conduct formal, and underline the word formal, quarterly meetings with them, of the recipients of my service, with my customers, to make sure that we're going through the process that they want in cleaning, to make sure that we're safety oriented the way they want it. We actually have a formal agenda that we go through, and they sign off on everything. We take minutes, and we then send the minutes to them for approval. And the next meeting opens up with, if there were any tasks assigned to anyone, we make sure that those have been, that they were completed, who did them, and when they did them. We found, again, that this helps us a great deal because they can then tell us and they rate our quality and all the other service areas that we're performing for them. The quarterly trainings are really a subject for a whole new podcast, to tell you the truth. And we will have a podcast on those in the future on how to conduct a quarterly meeting. But our point here is that you have to follow your customer's definition of quality. That's all it amounts to. You see, their definition of quality is the only one that counts. So when you say we are the best, I remind you, says who? If your customer or department head says you're the best, you can bank on it.